Hey, Chamber members, Alan Waters here, your Director of Marketing Communications at the Montgomery County Chamber of Commerce, and Season 3 of the Words of Wisdom podcast, kicking off a new season. So, new backdrop, all of those things. Want to thank Carter Bank for sponsoring the room here, helping us get this kind of content out to our members. So, I'm joined today by
Kristina Rose of Kristina Rose Photography.
So, let's do the obligatory. Who is Kristina Rose? What does Kristina Rose Photography do? All of that stuff.
Well, I have a studio in downtown Christiansburg, and my main focus is headshots and business branding, and a lot of people know me from that. But I've been here and doing photography for about almost 12 years. I've done all the things, and I have finally, in the last, maybe 5 years, really settled in on headshots and branding. And when I revamped my business, I realized how much I liked the marketing part of it. Mm-hmm. So that's where I find myself using it the most.
Industry in 12 years changes a lot. What do you think has been the biggest shift for you in the 12-year span?
Just within the industry?
Yeah, whether it's just how you're doing stuff or something you learned that was like, oh, okay, I really need to.
I think for me, obviously now with AI, that's huge, especially for someone who's a creative. Mm-hmm. That's a big change, but I can't say that that's necessarily changed how I've done business, because I feel like still, regardless, people who use that would probably not be my ideal client anyway. But I think that I grew myself more as a person who just came into my own, and I'm kind of okay with being told no, and just being open to knowing what I want. That's a long time. I feel like that's a good place to be, that I was not there in the beginning. So that's what's changed with me as a business owner, I guess.
No, and I think that's fair. I mean, it's always good when you come to the table with ideas and someone's like, I like this, but let's scale one step back. It's always easier as a director in theater to tell someone let's pull back than going, can you, more.
And I also, I just think that talking to more businesses, I see a lot of people struggle with that. And I think it's the biggest part of sales. How many no's do you hear before you hear yes? Mm-hmm. And I have become a little okay with that.
I saw a TikTok that was about this restaurant, and they told a server, you want to go for more no's tonight. I want you to bring me 10 more no's on trying to sell specials. At the end of the night, the server was great. I got all of these no's, and they were do you get any yeses? And they were no, I was trying to get a no.
No, that's not what I'm going for
right,
all the way.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's realizing, and not only that, I think about that in my marketing too. That is just, if something doesn't land right, okay, that's okay. What can I do differently? Mm-hmm. Why? It's not oh, the algorithm hates me. It's never my fault. I try to think more well, what can I do differently that might work the next time?
Yeah. I also think one thing I've seen that has changed industry-wise, and this is happening to a lot of businesses, is over the past 10 years, technology has advanced so fast, it is easier for someone to walk into a Best Buy and walk out with a camera. And I get people where they're oh, my camera doesn't take good pictures. I do. Cameras can take good pictures. It doesn't always mean about talent. But you were talking about standing out and not comparing yourself to others. But a lot of what you brought to me with this is going to be uncomfortable for me, because I'm handing it over to you. But
no, I want you to. We're going to talk about it together.
The cruxus of what we're talking about over the next 4 episodes that you hear this year, so the whole quarter, is going to be unboring your brand, and it's a series to push beyond cookie cutter marketing. It's saying words that feel weird in my mouth, because that's not my brand, and that's why
you like to be boring.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I don't know the last time I used the word cookie cutter, but it's a good standalone piece. I've seen so many things that are, how do you get the uniform circles of the cookies so how to fit in.
Yeah.
Standing out is a lot harder.
Yes.
With you, what were those kind of first pieces, and how does that translate into our
Yeah.
first topic today of breaking the mold?
I really think that people know that already. Like, I think that people are like, okay, yeah, I know you have to stand out. But I don't think people really connect what that means in their brain. I think that most of the time we do marketing that feels comfortable for us. Like, I put a post out on social media, it said X, Y, or Z. I put up a billboard and I did it and I checked that box. But what they're not doing is like that. If that doesn't give you like a little bit of a pukey feeling, like what are people going to think about me, then it's probably not different and it's probably not standing out. You know what I mean? Like it should make you feel a little bit uncomfortable. Like I think, for example, video is huge for people. And that's why a lot of people aren't doing it because it's nerve wracking.
I think it's the uncomfortable piece, but it's also so many of us, and I especially think with small business owners, have that mindset of, I've got to do this, it's got to go well, that we forget it takes time to get good at anything. Good doesn't start off, no one, unless you are the next prodigy, no one is just good at their trade. But also the confidence of being able to say, this is what makes me me, and I'm not ashamed of it. Because again, we have that conformity piece of, this is what the ideal person looks like. And you're like, keeping up with the Joneses, all that stuff. All right, so with the breaking, or the kicking off of breaking the mold, be bold.
Bold. Yes.
It's still, that's
Okay.
so funny, because these
No, I
you
love
say
it.
the words.
I love it. Breaking the mold, be bold. I like it because it's easy to remember. Okay, so obviously, photographer here. Have a lot of people get in front of my camera. I would say 8.5 out of the 10 people that walk into my studio are like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. I hate taking pictures, blah, 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 blah. And just actually getting them there and like getting in front of the camera is such a huge step. And for me to even then go on to say, hey, can you pose a little bit differently? Can you like get a little excited, or can we try this out? I do get a lot of pushback from that.
Yeah.
Because people are scared. And I understand. I mean, we're in a small community, but it's still the same thing. Like, I think a lot of people know too that I work with a few local magazines and doing stuff. And I not only photograph, like cover things, but also help people with their little ads and stuff. And if you've ever flipped through a magazine, wouldn't you want to be like, oh my gosh, like the whole point of it is to, like, for me, marketing should be, made you look.
Yeah.
And we know that.
Right.
But where is the bravery, the boldness of making that happen?
Yeah, the 75% of getting in the door, and there is a big step, but then
Yes.
the other part, and I know I tell people all the time when I take their picture, I don't want to be on your side. I hate having my picture taken, but it's understanding and trusting the professional that's telling you what to do. And sometimes that is hard, because I think about some of the times I've been posed in my life and my brain doesn't connect, because I'm like, roll my shoulders back and suddenly I look deformed, and they're like, what are you doing?
You're
Just
like, is
relax,
this not how
calm down. Yeah.
No. So
Your steps, I'd be like, yeah, what? Is that I
How's
look
it-
good?
yes, I will say you have to get used to that. And I think that honestly, as far as like what makes me stand out, I think that posing is a big thing, because people don't know what to do, and I tell people what to do down to their fingertips, like what they need to stand and hold and do. But I've started really amping up my TikTok channel, right? And my goal for that channel, like my ideal client, I say channel, is that YouTube? TikTok is what is right with that?
I've accepted the fact that I'm getting older and I'm not cool anymore, so I don't know.
But like, I think welcome back to my channel, but that's not how I do it. But anyway, my ideal client on TikTok, because of course it can be local, but I want to obviously reach some other people, because I'm a service-based industry, and if you're not here locally, I'm probably not going to photograph you. So my ideal client on TikTok is women, 30s, 40s, and 50s. So I do a lot of posing tips and cell phone camera tricks and stuff. But people are cracking me up because I do the posing tips and I show them these little tiny tweaks that they can do. And these comments, like I got one the other day that said, "Oh my gosh, you just lost 20 pounds in your butt." And I was like,
Thank
thanks. Is that a compliment? I don't know. But anyway, doing that stuff, like I get on there and I show people, like nobody likes to look like they have
Right.
a butt that's 20 pounds bigger, but I'm trying to like show them, and I have to do it that way because I know that my clients would not feel comfortable with me saying, "Hey, can I use your before picture that you took
Right.
when you looked, I told you to just kind of stand there, let me test the lighting, and then I posed you. Can I like show the before and after?" Nobody's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I love to look like a crazy person."
I remember talking last year with someone who was a mold expert, and it was the same thing. It was like marketing for us is tougher because no one wants to admit what the before was. Once you see the after and what the after can be, it's the same thing I think with food. There are foods that I went out, I ate, and I was like, "This is the best thing ever." And every steak I've had since then, I'm like, "No, it's not like that one was." So once you know good lighting, once you know good posing, you understand why that importance comes in. I think at the ribbon cutting today, I mentioned to everyone, I said, "All right, there are a lot of you, I have to use my wide angle lens. Remember your Christina Rose pose."
Did
I
you
said,
really?
I did, yes.
Oh, I love the
I said,
shout
"So
out."
come on." Mostly everyone's like, "You caught me yawning in the background." And I'm like, "Well, then don't yawn in the background. I'm sorry."
Yeah.
I think part of the boldness and the courage in there comes from the fact that you know your target audience. If you don't know who you are trying to talk to,
Yes.
you're not going to be able to talk to them. Like, everyone isn't your audience. Someone is. Everyone can use your stuff. Are you going to? Like, who you really want to be talking to? When that comes to that, I think another big part, and you talked about TikTok, which really leads into this. Trends come from TikTok
Oh
so
my gosh.
quickly,
Yes.
whether it's video, it's photo, it's the music. And I think some people get caught up in seeing something and going, "Oh, that's really good. I should do it," and then never defining who they are.
Yes. And I feel like that a lot of people get stuck in that. Like of course, because I want to be more active on social media, a lot of the social media that I am fed is, "Oh, here's this, try this on your social media," like from other people that are telling you how to do better on social media. I'm like, is that the only way people make money on social media? Is telling other
Others
people how
what to
be,
do.
like, geez Louise. But anyway, I get told that a lot, and I'm just like, that's never going to help me. Like, if I did, first of all, I'm not doing a dance. I'm not doing
No,
it.
no.
I'm not doing it. I'm not
If
that
we can
bold.
get Steve to do it, like, perfect. But I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. For me, like, I do love listening to people's stories, so that's more how I connect, and like I want to do more face-to-face stuff because that's what I feel like I like. But that's just me. I know other people could be different. But I do think that it is funny that people just think, "Oh, I did post on social media, but what I did was the newest trend with this sound." And the only thing that does is maybe push that out to people that are regularly watching that sound.
Right. And it's the same thing, and not to say that there aren't purposes to this. It's the same thing as going, "Oh, I'm going to do a radio ad," versus "I'm going to do targeted marketing on Facebook." Because one, you're tossing a lure into a very large sea. The other, you've got a bucket with a couple of fish.
Yeah.
And knowing that, I think, can help you go back to, again, who's your audience? How are you able to find them? Within that, though, how do you start to find ways? Because while I don't think following the trends are the important pieces, you talked about you go on and you learn. You see some of the people talking about it. How do you just start to discern, all right, this kind of style is going to work for me. When I'm filming, I'm going to make sure I'm doing this, or when I'm getting my photo taken, it's going to be in the magazine, so we need to be posed this way versus here. How does that influence where you're meeting with these businesses?
Well, I try to push people out. The easiest thing for me, I think this is so unique. When people know that they're going to be on the cover of a magazine, because I work with Blacksburg Living and Christiansburg neighbors. So obviously if they're on the cover, they want to, most of the time that's a family, right? They want to look good. Check. I can help you out with that. But I'm like, we want you to be unique on the cover. So tell me about your family. Like, what is it for you? And how can we portray that on the cover of the magazine, right? So we brainstorm that. And I'm like, I wish every single family or business or whatever, when they did a photo shoot or somehow to market, can you please pretend that you're on the cover of a magazine that you want people to pick up? Because for some reason, that has been the easiest thing to get people to open their eyes. I also do work with Real Producers, which goes to the top 30% of real estate agents in the New River Valley and also up to Lynchburg. I don't know what that includes. What is that? New River Valley and beyond, I guess.
Southwest Virginia?
Southwest Virginia, almost. I think it comes down to Christiansburg. That might be the furthest it goes. But anyway, the agents that go on this cover, I am able to make them step out of their comfort zone. Like, what does your ideal client look like? Who do you want to speak more to? And that's how I got a woman to, we set up studio lights and like flash those, because one of her side passions is working as a director for some like nonprofits in her area. So we put her in a director's chair. Like, she would have never done that. It would have been the same thing. Same like house picture, same this, same that. So I just try to push people out of that a little bit. It's so easy when they know they're going to be on a cover. It's like pulling teeth when they're not.
One of the things that we're doing, because right now we're working on our 2026 Chamber Magazine, is also thinking about, at least for there, where it's going to be and how do we make it not look like every other thing there. I love the fall foliage. I hope everyone does. If every single magazine is a picture of the fall foliage, you've got a tree, you don't have anything standing out. So I think when you're even there, you go back to those same metrics of, if you're doing the same thing everyone else is doing,
If you can, I was telling you this before, if someone can take a picture from whatever marketing thing that you're doing, whether it's an ad or it's a social media post or whatever, and they can slap your competitor's logo on it, and you'd not be able to tell the difference, like, that's an issue.
In real estate, that happens all the time.
Not to call anybody out.
No, but like, brokerages change. People are at new agencies all the time. You have to sell you, not the brokerage. They're the helping hand and the thing that's making it. Also, I think with a lot of the brokerages, they do have control over certain pieces of your media. But
Yeah.
Outside of that, and again, not to call you out, we love our real estate agents. But when you're looking at that and you're looking at your ideal client, what is some of that as well that you're making sure? Because there are a million real estate agents. You don't want to work with all of them.
No.
What are the pieces that work for your brand that have started to solidify of like, all right, this is my target audience as I get to here? You talked about the social media aspect, but outside of that, other marketing channels.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, well, fun story. Because I incorporated something new. How long has it been now? Maybe a year and a half or so. Is speaking, and I think that I've talked about that before. And I just go around to whoever wants to like hire me to talk about personal brand. I talk about photography. That's been phenomenal for me, and I am not the only person that can do that. A lot of people can do things like that. And then that actually has led to like people outside of here asking me to speak a little bit, which is very exciting. I never had the goal of being like any kind of speaker, but somebody did ask me to be a keynote speaker recently. I'm excited about that. So that has been a different kind of marketing for me. But I have what I would call, I call it my lazy marketing. And my lazy marketing is doing an ad in a magazine and then running Facebook ads. Now, it's not lazy in the way that every single month I'm like tracking, well, did this ad work? Did it not? And I switch it up. I mean, there are definitely some people who are like, I got my picture, I'm running my same ad. I had the opportunity to change it, but I never did. And it didn't make a difference. Like, did your ad look like literally everybody else's?
I saw something recently, and this is kind of driving a lot of pieces for me when it comes to reporting on anything. There are two major questions that need to be the most important. One, did you do the thing? Two, did you get some kind of response? And if you did not get the response you were looking for, or you didn't get a response at all, you need to change something. And
it is not the avenue's fault.
No.
That's what I think is the big thing. Like, whether that's magazine, whether that's social media, it is not, it's those things.
It's either
fault
what you've there, or it's an avenue that doesn't make sense
for your business.
Because you do not need to do the full list of marketing. Most businesses cannot function that way. It's kind of, I had a software recently make an update, and they're adding a essentially social media function to it. And I was like, I don't need that. I need you to do your job because I have social media. I'm not leaving Facebook for something Adobe sponsored. It's not Adobe sponsored, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not subscription modeling so it's okay to let some of the others fall away and not do that. It's okay to not be the photographer that does everything. We're going to take a quick break, but then when we get back, I want to start talking about how do you start making those shifts and what are things that people can do to go. Kristina Rose Photography is photography for your business. By empowering small businesses, entrepreneurs, and professionals, Kristina Rose creates images that help grow their brand and save them time. She believes people do business with people. So with Kristina Rose, let's journey from stock images and cell phone photos that create a messy marketing message to stunning images that will help stop the scroll. Kristina Rose Photography can help you tell a purposeful marketing story. For more information, visit krosephoto.com. That's krosephoto.com. Now, back to the episode. All right, we're back. I want to again thank Carter Bank for being our podcast room sponsor. But let's dive in and suggest something daring, a bold experiment challenge. So one of the things that I was reading here that really stood out is the unexpected personal story aspect of standing out, because you talked a lot last year and in some of our Lunch and Learns, some of our podcasts, about your story and about your personal brand. And I think knowing that is just kind of where you are. I've told the story about my brother, and I think that catches people off guard, but helps solidify and tell them why I'm here. What do you think about the personal story, and when is it too personal?
What are you talking about? I don't know. I think that is up to the individual person, right? What it is. But I do think that branding can be a lot of different things, right? I usually try to work in humor in some way. And in all of my talks, I had to be okay with this, right? Because, I'm a romance reader. And I kind of work that into some stuff.
I like romance where you just lead by that romance lover.
Yes, romance reader. We won't go any further. But I like to use it as an example and talk about people's book cover and stuff like that, right? I do it in everything. And this is how I think to myself, things are working, right? I get people sending me things. Oh my gosh, Kristina, I saw this and I thought of you. And it'll be something silly. It's smut, y'all. Sometimes it's just smut.
Call it what it is.
So somebody even yesterday, this week actually, I made some kind of funny comment and she goes, oh my gosh, Kristina, while I was out, I saw a coffee mug and it made me think of you and I got it, but I forgot to bring it today. So I'm really excited to see but I know that it has something to do with that. And then on the flip side, I use purple in my branding. I love it. It's my favorite color. I have people send me things all of the time that are like, hey, I saw this and thought of you. Hey, Kristina, this is so funny. Nancy Creed one time sent me a picture of a purple kitchen. She saw that and thought of me. That is unique and like weird branding, right?
Yeti over here, purple.
Hello.
I mean, the whatever who wants to sponsor this podcast cup.
Yes, exactly. It's free. Usually I do get it. I haven't gotten mine etched or whatever that's called yet, but usually I do that. So I just try to like work that in super small. But it could be really anything, because I think that some people might be like, oh my gosh, this girl's so crazy for even choosing to talk about, like, it's a little risque to talk about some of the things that you read. But I'm more or less an open book. Like, I don't mind to share things. That's just my personality. But what could push you a little bit further that would be a little bit extra to share? For instance, here's something to say. I have 3 kids. They are 19, 16, 15. Most people wouldn't even ever associate that with me. Like, I don't think that when people see me in the chamber that they ever think, oh, there's Kristina, mom of 3 teenagers. Like, nobody says that. Yeah. I really don't think. Am I crazy?
I have never heard anybody be like, oh, that's what Kristina's known for.
That's Kristina's brand. Obviously, that's a huge part of my life, but I don't make it part of, being a mom is not part of my brand.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's just kind of thinking about something else that I think that seems almost like an obvious thing for a lot of people, like being a parent or whatever, to make that part of your brand, but you don't have to.
Right.
At all.
Because I think it goes both ways, and it's really about you. Gosh, we've used this example so many times of showing up and seeing someone at a house showing and how they're dressed and what they look like. But also, if your kids are going to be at your last minute showings, if they're going to be something that are around at what you're doing, sure.
Show them.
Yeah. If it is a family-centric business, absolutely. But if it's not, it's okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the... Yeah. I love the minute we had Cora. Not literally, but like it felt like it. I think that night I updated my LinkedIn, Facebook, all the stuff to add father, because I was like, I want that to be a part of who I am. It's also okay for those that aren't posting pictures of their kids, that you will never see or hear about them at work, or
yeah.
It's okay to have that separation. I love what you said about the color, because I think even when you get down to the imagery of what your ads may be, color can break it up. Your headshot, you don't have to be in a black and white suit. You don't have to, go by the norms. A little bit of color can help you set out, and it doesn't have, an accent. There are other ways that talking about the kids, that I also love this idea. You put a playful campaign, and I know you and I have talked about being silly and being funny. What do you think is...
That's not everybody's brand, though.
Right, exactly. It's not everyone's brand. I was going to say, what do you think is the other version of that where this person wants to be very serious? It is the personal injury lawyer. I'm not saying you're working with them, but like, how do you still make sure you stand out at that point without a lot of flexibility?
I would imagine, I don't know. What I like to do with my clients is really sit down and chat with them about different things. But somebody like that who has a more serious brand, I, as a photographer, like to represent that a lot in lighting in different ways. Like, if you have a more serious brand, you're not... My studio is like an all white, like I've got this white brick wall. It's really pretty. A lot of people love it. I would not put him there.
Right.
Like, I'm just talking about photos, right? And also, I assumed it was a man. It could also be a woman.
Yeah.
Woman or man.
Check that. The Women's Leadership Conference is coming up. We don't...
Yes, I don't want to, like...
Put that out in the world.
Whoever it is, I would do the same thing. Like, we would go for a more... a dark and moody, and not in the way that your skin turns orange, but in the way that, like, lighting helps you show that you're a little bit more serious. Like, that comes through a lot in how photography works. Like, shadows create a little bit of mystery, but you can make people look, as in terms of marketing, that way as well. But I think that person, because as we know, video works a lot and talking things, like you have to figure out within your business, how can you tell a story without, violating anything. But people are going to, I think, gravitate to that when it's a little bit more serious. And that's okay too. It's whatever sort of works for you in that way. But I don't know. It's like sometimes unfortunately, I'm not one of those people that can just like real quickly be like, oh, I know, I've got 15 ideas for your business. But if we really sit down and talk to you, like we could talk together, I probably could come up with like 15 ideas.
I also think it's good knowing going into that conversation from, like, for example, a lot of our financial advisors, you have compliance that's going to restrict a lot of your creativity, but still being able to sit down and say, what can we do to make you stand out? It even could go back to what's your brand color. Let's make sure you're there. AI as a partner, AI is a hot topic for a lot of things. And this morning we talked about data centers and the energy consumption that comes with AI. So it's not without its faults. Any innovation is going to have that. But I use AI every day. I mean, I think it's one of those things that you have to balance where you're using it. I'm not dressing up in a candy cane outfit and sparkling on social media, but
you do you, right?
Yeah.
I wish you had of though. That would have been funny.
I'll do it in real life. No, I think so. When it comes down to the AI piece, and even you talked on that earlier in innovation, how are you using it in a way that guides and isn't replacing?
Yes. Okay.
That's the huge thing. People go, "Oh, you're going to get replaced."
Yeah. No. Because let's just be super honest. I can be like, I can have an idea and be working that out with ChatGPT or whatever anybody uses. I use Chat, and then I'll be like, that is so cookie cutter, to reuse what we're saying. And then it'll be like, oh, you're right. Yeah, I know, and you tell me that nonstop because it agrees with you no matter what, right? So you've got to figure out how to tweak that, and you have to kind of be smart enough to like know that it is, right? Especially, I don't think that, and this is okay, people are experts in what they do.
Yeah.
They may not be experts in marketing, but unfortunately, that comes hand in hand with like what basically we all do, right? But one of the things that you could potentially do, I use it as like an idea generator, right? I think that that's super effective. But one of my favorite TikTok series was the real estate agent that whispered and hid and like, can you find me in this room? That was hilarious to me.
I have not seen that at all.
It's kind of older, but I think she still does it, right? So there are definitely people that are copying her, and that's silly. You know what I mean? Don't do the same thing.
Right.
But what I did do at that time, and I can't remember because this was several months ago, and my brain won't let me retain that information.
Time's not real. Like
No.
it's no.
No. But I do know that I did this. I got on ChatGPT and I was like, there's a real estate agent that is, and she's definitely not from around here, but not that nobody, I feel bad saying that. She's not around here. I think we would all know regardless because she went viral. But I said, she is hiding and whispering and telling people to find her. Is there anything that I could do in my business as a branding and headshot photographer that would give the similar vibe but would be different and connect more with my brand? And then it spits out like 10 ideas, or sometimes I say, can you give me 10 ideas or whatever. And it'll spit them out. And a lot of times it will be something that you're like, oh, that is a beginning of a cool idea. And then you work with one and you tweak it and then you make it unique to you.
Yeah. It's a lot to do with your follow-up prompting and how you then utilize it. I think when it comes to AI in the creative world, so many people go to the chat GPT, the generated images, and think, oh, wow, this is getting really good. And I'm not saying it's not, but I still think that you can clearly see it's an uncanny valley.
Yeah.
It's that weird piece that you're like, that's not quite right.
And I feel myself being like, is this AI? Like, I don't want somebody looking at my picture and really staring at it and being like, is that AI? Did they use AI to do that? And I don't know really, because I'm coming to all of this from a creative perspective of somebody who creates that sort
Yeah.
of thing. So of course I'm a little like, how dare you? But I don't want people to think that. But
Yeah.
maybe other people don't care.
I don't know. I think that there's definitely a small subset of us that are going, are people thinking this? Is that there? And I think the ones that are going, do people think this, are the same ones that, like, it's just synonymous.
Yeah.
This now is becoming a tool that is going to be ingrained in a lot of what we do. And I think it is just utilizing it effectively, giving you ideas, giving you suggestions, telling it, quit sucking up to me.
Yes.
The amount of times I've been like, no, I don't, just tell me, act like
I'd
this.
be like, you're so perfect.
Yeah, it's like, you're so
You're so
pretty, Alan.
smart.
And I'm like, give me the answer. The other day it told me it can't count something. And I was like, if you can't count, I can't count it. I don't know. I'm not that smart. I think that's the other piece of AI is knowing you are not going to be the expert. Let it act like the expert and
Yeah.
get back to you. It's okay to go, then go talk to a human.
Yeah. Like, work it out. But I do sit down to, like, gather my thoughts because sometimes I feel like I have 57 tabs open. Not sometimes, most of the time. So AI can, well, one thing I did just recently use it for, and this, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so effective. I don't know if other people are like me, because I'm always, like, thinking of different, like, oh, I should do a post about that. Oh, I should do this. I have a notes, like a note in my iPhone of like, oh, I've got this idea. And I just put it down because I know if I don't write it down somewhere, it's gone. Like, I'll think to myself, what was it? And it will never come back to me in the same way. So I either voice it or I put it down. But I copied and pasted this long line of stuff into chat the other day. And it said, oh, you don't have a lack of ideas. You have a lack of organization. I'm like, ding, ding, ding. So it organized.
Thanks for that, Reed.
I know. That wasn't very nice. No. But it took them all and, like, organized them. Like, oh, this is about, like, how to take better pictures with your iPhone. This is about, and it just it didn't delete anything or, like, even expand on anything. It was just like, oh, here's all of your crazy organized.
Thanks, Kristina Rose. You're perfectly unorganized. I don't talk to mine. Do you talk to yours?
Sometimes when I'm on a walk.
Okay. I've only done it like once, and part of me felt weird.
It is a little weird.
So.
But I only do it if I'm, like, otherwise occupied.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, next piece, where beyond, hey, we're going to use this tool, we're going to stand out, what do you want people to do?
Okay. I think if you could just take, like, this would be my call to action or my thing that I want you to get and try from this. Use AI, use another, like, business partner or whatever. What is one thing, one post that I can do, one marketing technique that I can do that is different enough that it makes me uncomfortable, therefore it makes me be a little bold and break the mold, but it needs to make you feel a little pukey, like, I don't know if I want to post this, but I'm going to anyway because Kristina told me. And then also, I'm, like, totally fine if people want to message me and because I get it. Like, sometimes we just get blocked in our brain and we can't, like, I would love to sit down and just say, okay, tell me a little bit about what you do. What are you comfortable with?
Mm-hmm.
And then let's push that a little bit. I'm happy to have the conversation with people. That's fun for me.
Well,
So, and if people would come and, like, ask that, I think that they would see a little bit of a difference because it makes people stop.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the whole point.
Well, be bold, tag Kristina in
Yes,
whatever you
tag
do.
me. I would love it.
All right. Well, where can everyone find you? All of those things, socials, whatnot.
So, website, which is hopefully getting an update soon, is krosephoto.com. And then I am Kristina Rose Photography on all the things.
All right. All the things. What would be your parting words of wisdom?
Really just be bold and break the mold. That's what I want people to walk away from this. Like, try something different. And then read it. Like, if you need some help, read Mike Michalowicz's book, Get Different. It's a really cool marketing book.
I'm going to add that do something different and track it.
Track it, yeah.
You need to know if it makes a difference or not.
Yeah.
So, Well, thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
What can people expect for our next episode?
We're going to talk about storytelling and getting a little bit bolder with that and how we can use that in our marketing.
Awesome. Love it. Thank you, Kristina. Thank you, everybody, for listening along. Please make sure you like, follow, subscribe, download all the things across all of our YouTube, Spotify, Apple, everywhere you can find the podcast and our other content. In the meantime, go out, invest, connect, engage, and prosper.